What's up, gamers and geeks? Matt here with That's Fair Podcasting and Gaming Geeks Live. Now, so far, Crimson Desert has not let me down. Yes, I will admit to you, there are some rough patches in there, and I find some of it pretty challenging. But to me, so far, that's kind of been the basis of the game's appeal. And so far, it's been clutch on its delivery. Now, having said that, I understand there's been refunds going on with this game, bad reviews, so many different mixed reviews, and I do know that there is a lot of difficulty in a lot of the game mechanics, but in my experience so far, having been about 15 hours in, one thing I've noticed, if you slow it down, take your time, the game just gets better and better as it goes on, so stay tuned. Now, as time has gone by in this game and it progresses, I've noticed that certain tasks start to make this game feel like it's clicking, which it is. And I'll go over some of those things that I've had to do in order to keep myself going without getting my ass handed to me. And it's making Pywell a lot more immersive. But if you are new here, please feel free to subscribe to That's Fair Podcasting or Gaming Geeks Live. Please like my video like you've been doing, help me in that algorithm. And if you don't do any of those and you hear just another video on Crimson Desert as to why I give it a high rating, thanks for sticking with me, I sincerely appreciate it. My early struggles that I faced early on was actually the first puzzle, just getting out of whatever that land was after your apparent death. Now the reason I say that is I was following directions, but there is so much in the way of buttons needing to be pressed in certain progressions that, you know, the tutorial doesn't seemingly explain everything, but the beauty of games like these is you get to discover it on your own. And I did struggle at first with the puzzle of opening the door, but then by releasing a bumper at the right time, obviously I was able to get out and start to move on and progress in the game. Now, that also means that the opponent switching, I play on the Xbox Series X, and first of all, before I continue, I've had no problems on my Series X. You know, I put it on performance mode. There are certain modes you can put it on to give your game a better experience, and in the settings, I put it on performance, but I do know that even on the Xbox Series X, I haven't been having any issues. Maybe a little bit of a blur here and there, and a slight change in frame rate when there's a lot of enemies around, but other than that, it's been a beautifully clean game. Now, having said that, there's other things that I have been having issues with, is opponent switching and, you know, with the left bumper and this and that. You know, obviously the combat mechanics are kind of a tough one to get familiar with the first, and I even had issues with the arm wrestling at first. Yes, I was following directions, but you know as well as I do, I'm a little older than most gamers, so I can cramp up easier now, my hands, and so I'm tapping that. I believe on mine it was the X button, don't quote me on it, then you have to hit A whenever the meter goes around, but that's okay, I did get past it. And then the fishing at first was kind of a difficult thing too, but I got the fishing down too, so I'm noticing that these gameplay mechanics are something that I'm getting used to, and the more you get used to it, the better the game starts to feel overall. Now, in this game, a lot of it is getting used to your left bumper, be it press it or hold it down. I know it's a lot of lantern use, and again, it's pretty crucial that I'm trying to get used to this. And, you know, so when I'm doing the combat, again, as I've said, and the left bumper can switch once you've dropped one foe, you move to the other. You know, it's an adjustment, I won't lie to you. It's been an adjustment, but you know, the thing is, again, it's getting easier. And the one thing I've noticed is by taking my time. Take your time. You know, I think a lot of people want to just jump on the main quest just for the story mode and jump in and go straight to the main quest. You're gonna have your ass rocked right back. So don't do that. I'm telling you, man, side quests are where it's at to build up your character and build up your gear and weapons. You start off in the city of Hernand, and I'm telling you, man, just do the side quests. That's what I've been doing, and that's what's been able for me to gather wood, getting the axe, gathering iron, getting the pickaxe to do that. And then you go back to the smithy and you're upgrading all your shite. Now, I haven't done my leather yet with my armor, but I'm sure if I gather leather, I'll find out if I can upgrade my armor in that regard. And if not, I'll just use more iron ore. Guys, I'm telling you, grind it out. It's worth the grind though, because there's so much in Pywell to do. But again, I'm in Hernand, and I'm getting better and better at this. Now, find the artifacts. You can find a lot of these abysmal, or abyss artifacts? Abysmal. But find these artifacts. A lot of times you can earn them, a lot of times you can find them right out in the open. And they give you these small tasks in order to unlock these sealed artifacts and use these to level up. And that's what I've been doing. And guys, I'm telling you straight up, these side quests start to unlock more and more. And do yourself a favor, talk to everybody in Hernand. You start building up trust, and that's becoming very crucial. As you build up more and more trust, people start getting more and more familiar with you in these places. I'm about maybe 8 to 10 hours in. I've barely gotten out of Hernand a couple of times. I did one boss fight, got my ass kicked. That's when I realized, look, I need to upgrade. And I had a feeling I needed to upgrade, but that's exactly what I did. So in Hernand, these quests have you literally mining for copper ore and iron ore and chopping wood. And again, you're also gaining experience, but doing all this to open up these sealed artifacts, you can start leveling up. And I'm telling you, so far the game, the confrontations with a boss, I was able to kick his ass. And obviously you're gonna have a lot of outnumbered battles, but that's good. You know, that's a lot of, it's a lot of Dynasty Warrior-like type situation where you're outnumbered. You'll slaughter those asses with no problem. It's the boss fights, but trust me, you've got to take your time and gear up. You've got to level up your gear. You've got to upgrade it all in order to start handling these boss fights. Don't do the main quest first. And besides finding these artifacts, these sealed artifacts, one thing I've noticed too is when you're approaching buildings that are guarded and or locked, guys, this is where you go Assassin's Creed. The majority of your windows you can just open up anyway. And so that's kind of how I'm gaining access without even finding keys. But I've been given keys that I haven't done this quest yet, but there's a sewer quest that has to do with some woman in the sewers. So I'm probably gonna jump into the game tonight and start that quest. I'm still in Hernand for that reason. But one thing I've noticed has been clutch for me is if you don't put ranks up in stamina almost right away, you're gonna have your ass handed to you when you're climbing higher cliffs, because you'll fall, maybe even to your death. I haven't died yet, I haven't fallen that far yet. But one thing I noticed is you're running out of stamina. I almost thinking with the flying and the climbing and the running, guys, you might wanna, just a word of advice, I wouldn't tell you what to do. Start focusing on stamina first. I think everything else kind of falls into place. Now, there are the 3 level up areas of abilities with stamina, health, and spirit. I haven't delved deep into the health and spirit yet because right now, like I said, as I just pointed out, my stamina has kind of been the crucial aspect of my guy controlling Cliff. I haven't even reunited yet with any of the other ones. I believe Unka and Nara, I believe is her name. But I do know that those are some of your main NPCs from the Grey Mains that you're supposed to reunite with. And I haven't gotten there yet because again, right now I'm going all around the areas right outside Hernand and I'm mining everything I can. I'm getting as much wood as it lets me. I'm getting as much iron ore, even copper ore. And guys, I'm telling you how clutch it is to do that before progressing outside Hernand. And you know, I'm telling you, if you take your time with this game is turning out to be phenomenal. I did a video not too far back on why I thought it was worth the pre-order, and I'm glad I did. Now, obviously this game isn't meant to hold your hand. There's no yellow paint to show you where to go. And guys, kind of think outside the box here. I'm not talking about you guys specifically, but a lot of people bitching about this game. Now look, Pearl Abyss just released a patch in the past 12 hours. I'll have it on the screen of all the fixes. This was released legitimately, probably the same date I recorded this, maybe on the 22nd, late last night. But as the date of recording this now, March 23rd, there is a patch that's been released, but this world is so vast, so large, I don't want to have my hand held. There have been slight tutorials. They don't give you, it seems like they haven't given you everything you need to know. People are like, well, just read the tutorials. I am reading the tutorials. I'm pretty much doing as it instructs, and it doesn't always work. A lot of it's timing, a lot of it's letting go of buttons and stuff. But the beauty of Pywell is I'm learning to deal with this world on my own terms. And that's what I think Pearl Abyss was trying to stress in this game, guys. You know, explore this world at your own terms, you know, on your own terms. with your own time. Don't rush into the main quest, because if you're having your ass handed to you by bosses, that's why. You're going straight to the main quest and you're missing out on so much more. Side quests typically bring a game together and make it the best game possible. Again, by not focusing just on the main quest, which I started to do, but these bosses were just kicking the living shit out of me, and rightfully so. I mean, don't get me wrong, it gets frustrating at times because you have to learn the whole fast travel system, which in the new patch, they've made it a little easier. They've added more fast travel locations. But yeah, you find yourself having to traverse all the way back. And it's worth it, because if you take a different path back to your same area, you're gonna run into new shite. I've been running into caves that have given me a lot of raw meat to make food being clutch with these boss fights. But again, after I did spend a lot of time outside Hernand, and not all of the area was covered, which I'm going back. After I did spend some time outside Hernand by gathering wood, by mining for iron and all that, I have been able to upgrade my gear and kick the shit out of these boss fights. Now, this patch also is going to make these archery contests a lot easier as well. I haven't entered those yet. I was in an area where I could, then I wanted to enter a spear contest, but I couldn't find a spear, and I didn't have the money at the time to purchase one, but I think I want to get a spear because it keeps enemies at a distance. Also, in this latest update that was recently dropped is a private storage chest. You know, a lot of people were complaining about the inventory system, and rightfully so. You can run out of inventory space awfully fast, and even as you level up, you can get more, but it's not enough, because if you're like me and you like to collect every god dang thing you find, you do have a private storage place in your Greymane camp, and I believe in the camp outside Hernand. So in the new patch update, there's that. And when you eat food during boss battles, it will replenish more health than it was. So that fish porridge you were chowing on gave you a little bit. It's probably gonna roughly double the amount it gives you back. So expect that to happen. And I believe enemies, even bosses, their health is going to go down a bit. I'm not big on that idea. I don't mind the challenge of having, you know, I want to learn how to get past these bosses as is. I wish there'd be like a difficulty slider in there. I don't play on hardcore mode, but I don't want it on easy mode either. I want to be able to, I want these bosses to be a challenge, because as you're faced up to 8 to 10 guys, you'll mow them over like it's nothing. So the boss fights are worth it. So, but the new patch is allowing for easier boss battles. From what I understand, it's going to make, if it's not in this patch, it will be the next one. Boss battles are going to be easier with the health being a little bit lowered and your damage you're causing more damage against them. Now, in my overall grade of this game right now, I've got it at a flat A. Not even an A minus. Now, at first I was gonna give it an A minus because I'm jumping in, I couldn't get through the first puzzle door. I read the instructions, I read the tutorial. For some reason, my wife played it, went right through it. So that was sort of in my face, and rightfully so. Good on her. But the thing is, you know, it took me a while, and then, you know, the mechanics, and as I get older, I get tired, I get more grumpy. It happens when you get into your 50s, trust me, it sucks. You'll get there. But I do know that it is worth learning everything, and it started to dawn on me, slow it down. I went into Hernand, I did a quest of making 3 fish porridges for the cook, and then I had to, this big ogre looking guy, I can't remember names yet, but he asked you to take the pickaxe and go gather wood, or the chopping axe and gather wood, which I did, and you get rewarded for that. And then as you're going and doing all these quests, you start to find the sealed artifacts and everything, and do what they want you to do. Like one of them I found, the first one I found was kill 3 enemies with your sword without being hit. I did it, bam. And I'm going straight to stamina, guys. But I'd give it an A flat. At first I was giving it an A minus, and I put a lot more time into it yesterday, which was Sunday. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm getting used to it. So guys, I like what Pearl Abyss has done. They've got a lot, they're listening to you guys. They're making a lot of adjustments for the people that want them. You know, some people need that yellow paint. That's nothing against them. I prefer to just explore an open world. But yeah, you know, a lot of UI are going to be corrected in the game too. So, you know, expect Pearl Abyss to listen to its customers. Hey, they already sold 2 million copies at this point. They're gonna keep selling. This game is still like kicking ass on Steam. So guys, that's really all I had. I'm gonna give it an A right now. I think it'll get even better though as these patches come out. Kind of curious to see what DLC, but guys, I haven't even tapped the surface. I'm barely out of Hernand with my first boss battle, and I'm going back. and I'm just upgrading gear. And I'm telling you guys, I can't stress it enough. Upgrade your weapons, your armor, put ranks and stamina. You'll thank me later. That's really how I've learned to deal with the combat situation. But thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this video. Please feel free to subscribe to That's Fair Podcasting or Gaming Geeks Live. Please like the video, help me on that algorithm. And if you didn't do any of those and you just listened to my approach to Crimson Desert and why it gets an A, thank you for tuning in. And to all you gamers out there, all love, and I'm outro.